Why would you win? Why put it on the line? Seriously, why? With so much at stake, with so much room to fail, you could give everything you have and still lose. Why risk it? But my question is, what if you don't?
SportsBook-Robbery. Dare to dream big.
Here's your Week 3 moneyline picks. I circled who I believe should win. Who's chasing dogs this week? Today, we're diving deep into the player props for the Bengals versus Vikings game this Sunday, specifically honing in on Minnesota's running back, Jordan Mason. This is a fascinating matchup, and I think there's some real value to be found here. The Vikings are facing some significant injuries. Their starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, is sidelined, and their starting running back, Aaron Jones, is on injured reserve. This situation sets up perfectly for Mason to be the focal point of the Vikings offense, especially with a backup QB, Carson Wentz, under center. With Minnesota down their starting QB and RB1, I think they lean heavy on Jordan Mason. Remember last year, Mason stepped in for McCaffrey and handled business in those first few games. Same spot here, volume, opportunity, and a defense that can give up chunk plays out of the backfield. With the starting QB out, we often see offenses rely more on the run game and short, high-percentage passes to the running back. This is where Mason's receiving ability comes into play. According to Sports Illustrated, Mason showed some pass-catching chops last season, grabbing 10 of 12 targets. This season, through 2 games, Mason has 3 receptions for 15 yards on just 4 targets. If the Vikings lean heavily on Mason, those receiving yards could stack up quickly. The current line for receiving yards is set at 13.5, which is attainable given his potential volume. Now, let's talk about Mason getting into the end zone. Per SILive.com, Fanduel currently has odds of plus 470 on Jordan Mason to score the first touchdown against the Bengals. This indicates they see him as a prime candidate for a score. Mason leads the Vikings' rushing attack, and with Jones out, he's the primary red zone option. The Bengals' defense, notes Sports Illustrated, is currently ranked 21st in rush defense EPA, making them vulnerable on the ground. Given the game script likely favoring a heavy workload for Mason and a susceptible Bengals run defense, taking the over on 0.5 touchdowns looks like a strong play. Mason could see more than 20 touches in this matchup. In 2024 with the 49ers, he averaged 5.2 yards per attempt and 95.3 rushing yards per game during the first 7 weeks, filling in for Christian McCaffrey. This projects a ceiling above the current line, especially with the Vikings potentially leaning heavily on the run with a backup QB. The Bengals have allowed opposing running backs to run well against them, 24 carries for 126 yards at 5.3 yards per carry to the Jaguars in Week 2. His rushing yard total is set between 62.5 and 80.5. Mason is currently averaging 49 rushing yards per game this season. That wraps up our breakdown of the Jordan Mason player props for Week 3. What are your thoughts on these bets? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more player prop breakdowns and betting tips. And as always, bet responsibly. And check the latest odds and injury reports before placing bets, as these can change rapidly.